Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I have a gift request from none other than MontaukEd. Ed, thank you for this gift and request. Ed always gets me going with the song requests he makes. But thank you again, Ed. I'm wearing black in honor of Johnny Cash, who's the man in black, and I'm wearing NYPD in honor of Ed, who's originally from, well, Long Island, Montauk, Long Island, which is the easternmost point of New York. And so NYPD, but also to beat the devil, you might need the cops. I don't know. Sometimes, well, cops need policing themselves sometimes too. But anyway, let's see what Johnny's got for us. I don't know this song as far as I know. Johnny used to be an evangelical. So it sounds like Simon and Garfunkel.
It was wintertime in Nashville, down on Music Row, and I was looking for a place to get myself out of the cold, to warm the frozen feeling that was eating at my soul, and keep the chilly wind off me and my guitar. Well, my thirsty wanted whiskey, and my hungry needed beans, but it had been a month of paydays since I'd heard that eagle scream. So with a stomach full of empty and a pocket full of dreams, I left my pride and stepped inside a bar. Actually, I guess you'd call it a tavern. Cigarette smoke to the ceiling, sawdust on the floor, friendly shadows. Well, I saw that there was just one old man that was sitting at the bar, and in the mirror I could see him checking me and my guitar. And he turned and he said, "Come up here, boy, and show us what you are." I said, "I'm dry." He bought me a beer.
All right.
Then he nodded at my guitar and he said, "It's a tough life, ain't it?" I just looked at him and he said, "You ain't making any money, are you?" I said, "You've been reading my mail." He just smiled and said, "Let me see that guitar. I got something you ought to hear." Then he laid it on my ear. If you waste your time a-talking to the people who don't listen to the things that you are saying, who do you think's gonna hear? And if you should die explaining how the things that they complain about are things they could be changing, who do you think's gonna care? There were other lonely singers in a world turned deaf and blind, who were crucified for what they tried to show. And their voices have been scattered by the swirling winds of time, for the truth remains that no one wants to know. Well, the old man was a stranger, but I'd heard his song before, back when failure had me locked out on the wrong side of the door, when no one stood behind me but my shadow on the floor, and lonesome was more than a state of mind. You see, the devil haunts a hungry man, and if you don't want to join him, well, you gotta beat him. I ain't saying I beat the devil, but I drank his beer for nothing. And then I stole his song. And you still can hear me singing to the people who don't listen to the things that I am saying, praying someone's gonna hear. And I guess I'll die explaining how the things that they complain about are things they could be changing, hoping someone's gonna care.
Wow.
I was born a lonely singer, and I'm bound to die the same, but I've gotta feed the hunger in my soul. And if I never have a nickel, I won't ever die ashamed, 'cause I don't believe that no one wants to know.
Yeah. pulled that one out of your hat, Ed. Why didn't this come out a lot sooner? Of your hat, I mean. Holy cow. I'm assuming Johnny wrote that. I don't know if he had a co-writer. I'm just assuming. But, it made me think like when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. In this case, like to beat the devil. When you're in hell, do as the Hellarians do or something. But it's like you got to beat the devil at his own game. And he took the guy's song and he got a beer for free. But I mean, that line where they brought in the backing on it of if you're saying things to people who don't want to know or take the time to listen, who do you think's going to hear you? If you're explaining yourself to people who don't care, who do you think's going to care? He said something about loneliness too, and I understood that line well too. Because in a sense, we all have unique viewpoints and vantage points in the world. And that makes us feel alone at times because we think nobody understands us. And it's true. Nobody does understand fully. Nobody agrees fully. But then again, few people take the time to listen. And if you look to validate where someone's coming from versus invalidate it, you'll understand a lot more of where a person's coming from. And so you'll have that balance. You're not going to agree with it all. Nobody's going to agree completely with you. Nobody agrees completely with me. I don't expect that. It would become boring if they did. Iron sharpens iron type of thing. That's a good thing. It can be a hard process. For me, not so much. I mean, I like engaging, and I'm comfortable enough with where I stand in the social spheres in life and how I am in them. But adjustments need to be made along life's path, But if you're taking a personal inventory as best you can, and that includes feedback from others, as well as just contemplating like, well, God, I really wasn't good in that moment or in that situation, or I was tongue-tied, or I was too quiet, or I was too loud, or I was too little, or too much, whatever it might be. Or there'd be a period in your life where you were trying new personas out. You tend to do that in high school or maybe even part of college. But you look back, you learn from it. But you can assess yourself in that regard and not return to things you didn't like. But good God, I mean, even I thought at one point during this was like the beginning of rap music. Just to be talking, singing, but not gangster rap, but just telling a story line by line without belting it out. But Johnny just brings it real in so many ways. That's just the way this story was told. A month of paychecks, he hadn't seen that eagle fly. And I guess the eagle, which is on the dollar bill, he hadn't seen it. He hadn't seen money, so he was broke. Dude played the song, Johnny snagged it. I don't know if this is a true story, too. It could be, knowing Johnny. I mean, he's not afraid of the truth. So as his song, The Man in Black, will be, he says things the way he sees them. Good God, Ed. I mean, this was a song. This was a story. It came full circle. It had advice in it. I'm going to rate this song. The number that popped into my head was a 9.8. All in the wisdom. And also, I said in the beginning, had a Simon and Garfunkel feel. I think that was in the bass line, where it reminded me, the guitar work a bit, reminded me of Mrs. Robinson, the song. So, Ed, another dandy from you. Wow. I'll probably go listen to this again because I want to hear how that line was restructured, how it was formulated, and see what I can learn from it, because I love learning from these songs and seeing what I can apply in my own life. So, all right, guys, you can thank MontaukEd for that. Good Lord. Thank you again, Ed. Have a great day. This is from Buck or Socrates or a name yet to be determined and me. Have a great day.
It was wintertime in Nashville, down on Music Row, and I was looking for a place to get myself out of the cold.